Good morning, everyone. Welcome to The Week Ahead. As you know, I'm your head of school, Mr. Fiato, and I'm coming to you from the Colleen Cregan Media Studio. Coming up in this week's episode, we recognize Miss Jill Taylor with a teacher shout-out, and I sat down with seniors Maybelline Natoro and Jada Turner to talk about Project Learn's Portrait of a Graduate initiative. But first, we'll take a look at this year's Abigail Adams Scholars. This year, over 200 Lowell High School students were honored with the Abigail Adams Scholarship. This merit-based scholarship is given to students based on their 10th grade MCAS scores. Each of these great students will now receive a credit towards 8 semesters at a Massachusetts State College or University. Check out this long list of Abigail Adams Scholars. Great job, everyone! This week, the Merrimack Valley Food Bank will be holding a contactless food drive. Load up your trunk with canned goods and dry foods and make your way to the Songus Arena on Saturday, November 7th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Drive up and volunteers will unload your car for you. Join our National Honor Society volunteers from Lowell High School as they partner with the Merrimack Valley Food Bank. Thank you all for your service. In athletic news, the winter season of sports is set to start up at the end of November with tryouts beginning on the 30th. Be sure to check out the LHS website for more information on where we stand with the winter sports season. While we can't guarantee that sports will continue as normal for the year, we will be sure to keep you informed along the way. If you have any questions, you can email Mr. David Lazinski, the LHS Athletic Director. And now it's time for our LHS Teacher Shoutout. This week, we recognize Mrs. Jill Taylor, who was recently featured on a panel with other school representatives from across the state. This distinguished panel discussion was hosted by the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship, otherwise known as NEFTE. Ms. Taylor is a passionate advocate for teaching entrepreneurship to students while infusing science and technology into the curriculum. She strives to instill confidence and empathy in her students to prepare them for success in the 21st century.
We're working on human-centered design thinking this week, and the secretary mentioned in the chat about empathy, and they're working on developing a backpack. Certainly having the innovative skills that entrepreneurship education provides, I get to see all aspects of STEM and not even realizing it as a business educator and bringing that excitement to the classroom, that it encompasses all aspects of the different STEM concepts. And we do this through our project-based learning and supporting our students. I have 97 entrepreneurs this year that I'm going through and developing their mindsets, hopefully to help grow our economy here in Massachusetts and go out into the world to find solutions.
Mrs. Taylor is one of a handful of representatives from across the state to be on this panel. We thank you for your great work on behalf of our students. Mrs. Taylor, thanks for representing Lowell High School very well. Over the coming year, Project Learn, a nonprofit organization here in Lowell, has teamed up with Lowell Public Schools for a Portrait of a Graduate initiative. I sat down with 2 of our fantastic LHS seniors who have been active in this project. Let's take a look at what Maybelline and Jada had to say about their work on Portrait of a Graduate.
We have 2 student leaders here from Lowell High School who can introduce themselves. And we want to talk about a special project that's been happening at LHS and in the Lowell community called Portrait of a Graduate. With us today, we have Jada and Maybelline. Jada, do you want to just introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself, what grade you're in, some things that you're doing this senior year.
Sure. So my name is Jada Turner. I'm a senior at Lowell High School this year. And just a few things I'm involved in, the STEP team, Black Unity Club, I could name a few other, like mock trial. I'm just trying to throw things off the top of my head right now, but I'm really excited to talk to you guys today.
Thank you so much for joining. Maybelline, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and some things that you've done here at Lowell High School?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Maybelline. I am a senior at Lowell High. And a few things I've done, not really off the top of my head. I'm part of a community service club at Lowell High called KIND. I'm also part of the Outdoor Adventure Club. I do a lot of community-based work with a program called Aaron's Presence, and I'm also part of the Poetry Club.
Can you describe to our teachers and students what is the Portrait of a Graduate?
Yeah, definitely. So Portrait of a Graduate is a community-based initiative to kind of figure out what traits and characteristics our graduates of today need to succeed in a job in a professional setting and in their careers. So we've done a series of focus groups with students, with teachers, community leaders, community members, parents, all kind of giving their input on what a graduate of today needs to succeed in life.
Jada, in your eyes, how would you describe what Portrait of a Graduate is to teachers and students?
Portrait of a Graduate, the three things we're mostly focus on are mindset, skills, and knowledge that students have and that we want to give to students before they leave Lowell High School, and just to prepare them for their lives and whatever they decide to do after high school, and even after, even in their post-secondary lives, just in their career field. No matter what they do after high school, we just want to make sure that they're prepared.
Can you talk a little bit about what role you've played in this process?
We ran different focus groups, and those focus group responses were transcribed. And I was actually one of the people that looked through those different transcriptions and kind of isolated some of the different ideas that a lot of people were saying and noticed some trends and kind of brought it to light.
I've been a facilitator for the discussions, the focus group discussions, the discussions involving the staff and administration at Lowell High School, and just from the Lowell Public School Department. So I've just facilitated the conversation. So basically what I would do is me and another group of students would ask the questions and kind of guide the conversation.
You both have touched on it a bit, but this is your chance to close out it strong. Why is it important that we continue this work around the Portrait of a Graduate?
Really preparing our students for like the world outside of LHS, really giving us the skills that we will need to succeed in college, and even if we don't go to college, to succeed in the work environment. And some of these skills sound so basic, like talking to your supervisor or talking to your professor, but it's skills that a lot of people don't have and don't have the confidence in themselves in order to do things like that. And I feel like developing these skills in high school right now will really help us in the future.
I think that Portrait of a Graduate is important because it's giving students knowledge that is not necessarily the normal or the regular. And that's what we kind of need, because as the world is changing and, we're becoming, like, school right now is virtual, and we need sort of different skills, and we need to teach students those sort of skills so that they're prepared.
Thank you for your time. And I really appreciate the leadership role that you've taken and that time that you've taken to be on our video show that is going to be broadcast out to the Lowell High community. So thank you very much. Wish you the best of luck, and have a great day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That does it for this week's show. I hope you enjoyed our time together, and I'll be back at it next week with more news. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you soon. Take care.